Understood. Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna like rewatch this podcast when I'm editing it. So I'm definitely gonna probably catch that now. So for the people that are watching at home, like, is there a way or like an easy way to just go ahead and hypnotize yourself?
Yes. So, daydreaming. Daydreaming is self-hypnosis. It's amazing. It's so easy, and who doesn't love to daydream? And the way in which you daydream, the easiest way is just imagine a future state of something going really well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It could be as simple as, you know what, I'm going to imagine doing really well in one of my meetings today, or something as big as imagining what their dream life is going to be like in 5 years, and that's putting in the neural pathways and setting
Mhm.
you up for success, for then having your actions be aligned with that thing going really well.
Interesting. Okay. So
Yeah, it's the
would the
easiest.
would this okay, so would the same thing work if you're just like daydreaming about negative things that will happen to you in the future?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's why like so many like pessimistic people like they always see like bad things happening to them, right? Because they're just always constantly thinking like that.
Yeah, and an analogy that I came up with that I believe describes this well is imagine getting into an Uber, and in the destination field, you just kept typing everywhere you didn't want to go. I don't want to go to
Okay.
the airport. I don't want to go to the mall. I don't want to go here. I don't want to go there. The Uber is like, okay, well, you just typed it into the destination. I guess I'm going to go there. I also don't know where to take you. And so
Hmm.
daydreaming negative is essentially typing into your Uber the destination where you don't want to go
Interesting.
versus
Okay. No.
typing into where you do want to go.
Right. Yeah. So you should always keep in mind where you actually what your destination actually should be and not where you don't want to go in the first place. Okay. That makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense. You have some really great analogies. Yeah.
thank you. And we're human, so we are going to think about our problems. We're going to think about things that we don't want, and that's also totally okay. I just have my tip is that I have a rule of thumb is spend 6 times longer thinking about what you do want than what
Hmm.
you don't want.
6 times longer. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty random, but just more times longer than
Right.
than the other.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that actually also gets into like the principle of like have you ever heard of the term neuroplasticity?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, tell the audience like what neuroplasticity is like so and how that actually connects to hypnosis because I'm guessing it really does, right?
Yeah, so I want to hedge what I'm about to say that I'm not a doctor nor a psychologist and or nor a scientist. So someone
Neither
listening
am
to
I.
this should probably, yeah, you should probably chat GPT what is neuroplasticity. But the way in which I interpret it is one's ability to implement
Hmm.
the neural networks in their own brain, the neural pathways, to essentially design the life that they want, to be able to think what they truly want, believe what they truly want.
Hmm. Yeah, no,
Almost like
that's pretty.
recoding our brains,
Yeah,
debugging it,
that
and
that yeah, I think that's like the best way to put it of like recoding your brain. I remember when I looked into it, for example, like I used to be a very negative person when I was a kid, right? So I got called out on it once by one of my friends. And ever since then, I was like, wait, I really do think very negatively. Maybe I should stop. So randomly, I came across this term called neuroplasticity, right? So what I remember very vividly when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I really need to do this. And it kind of goes back into the things that you were saying as well. So neuroplasticity, when I learned it, it was basically like um, if you keep on doing something again and again, it becomes habit, right? So the reason why it's so easy for you to like recall, like for example, like 2 plus 2, you automatically know that it's 4, right? But if I ask you the question of like, okay, well, what's 32 times 64? You'll probably have to like think about it and you need to go through that process and then you'll finally figure out the answer, right? But 2 plus 2 equals 4 is very easy because you've already built this like neural network of connection and you already know like okay 2 plus 2 is 4, right? It's the same thing
right.
of like when you think that things are not going to work out for you, it's the same thing because you've always thought that way. So, like, your brain has made it a habit to just think negatively about yourself, your future, regardless, whatever it is, right? To
Mm-hmm.
break that, you obviously need to do the opposite, which, like you were saying, you need to, repeat something positive 6 times more than if you do something negative, right? So if you say, oh, things just don't work out for me once, then you say, like, oh, things are working out for me, or things will work out for me like 6 times more than that. And the
Exactly.
more you do something, the more like this neural bridge or like this neural network gets super strong of like your positive thinking. And like the more you positively think, obviously, since you're not negatively thinking anymore, your brain is very efficient. So it's just gonna make that bridge into negative thinking very weak, or maybe just even destroy it altogether. So
Yeah.
I'm a huge believer in like positive thinking and like affirmations and things of that nature, because I personally, like, that's changed my life. So yeah.
That is a wonderful example, and that's an example of you hypnotizing yourself,
Right.
right?
Yeah. I mean,
You've gone, you
I I definitely just hypnotized myself at like the age of 13 or 14 without even knowing. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, 100%. And that's that very much fits into the same idea of presenting, which entrepreneurs have to do a lot, right? Pitching. We have an old version that has this habit of, oh, I'm going to be nervous because I'm presenting, because I saw that in so many Shark Tanks and YouTube
Right.
videos, whatever. But instead, we can develop the neural pathways that says when I walk into that room with investors, I feel calm, I feel confident, and it just happens. It's habit. Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely. Go
And
ahead.
the really cool thing about hypnosis is that our imaginations, our emotions don't really know the difference between what is imaginary and what is real. So we
Hmm.
don't actually have to have real reps in real life to develop those neural pathways because we can use the power of imagination to do so.